Hi, this is Wakar Ahmed. Today I wanted to share with you guys the configurable workflow hierarchies in Microsoft Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. And I'll consider the expense reporting for my example. In the normal organizational hierarchy, I've just tried to bring up to you. For instance, a salesperson or any other person who want to make a request. He has some certain positions above him to whom every position is reporting. And in this current scenario, the salesperson is sitting on the zero position, who's actually acting as a requester. His his immediate he has an immediate manager. His immediate manager has his immediate manager, who is the regional manager, and the regional manager has an immediate manager who is the country manager, and the country manager has an immediate manager who is the general manager. So in my case scenario, if I look at it from the managerial hierarchy or from approval perspective, if it is so complex to have the approval at four levels, means that my immediate manager is at the number one, the regional is at two, the country is at three, and the general manager is at four. So my perspective is to do this, that salesperson, when he makes a request for a cash advance for his business trip or the expense report, for instance, that's an example. However, this is applicable to any workflows that you are going to be designing. So the salesperson, whenever he is submitting the document for, specifically in my case, the expense report or the cash advance request, I wanted to go to the immediate manager, and when the immediate manager approves it, after that it does not go further in the managerial hierarchy, but it goes to human resources manager for final approval, and then it is considered as approved. So there there are some ways of doing this, which are not recommended. However, the best way of doing this is to use the managerial hierarchy and the configurable workflow hierarchy. So let me get into the workflow and show you what I meant to state. Here in my workflow, let's say here I created this workflow for cash advance requests. So as you can see, I've created a step for manager approval. If I go to the basic settings and to the assignment, you can see here I've selected hierarchy, and in the hierarchy selection, I'll select managerial hierarchy. This is for the first step of my requirement. This step, that his request goes to his immediate manager only. Coming back again to the workflow, here I've specified a condition that employee.line manager level is equal to value 1. Means I want to go to his immediate manager level. As I said, for the sales manager, his immediate manager position is already there. If this workflow is given by somebody superior to him, his immediate will be the the position he is reporting to. To give you a better idea, I would suggest to consider the positions hierarchy that you define in Dynamics 365, where you always have to specify the report to position, because every position reports to some position uh, until you reach the top of the hierarchy. So this is actually applying the very same scenario. Like, my first report to position is my line manager level 1. So this part is done, and in the hierarchy option we specify assign only to the last user retrieved. So it means that do not go beyond that. Don't in other words, I would say, go to the position that I'm reporting to, but do not forward this to the report to position of the position, the managers, and then from his manager and his manager and his manager. I want to stop it at the very first step. Go to my immediate manager. When it is approved, close. I don't want to do anything further to this approval. Okay, so it will consider the approval is done. Now the second step, where we want to bring in the human resources manager. Now here comes the tricky thing. The tricky thing is that we will have to configure the conditional hierarchy. Let me go to the step of the HR manager approval. If I go to the basic settings, here we will assign the hierarchy again. And in the hierarchy selection, this time we will say we want to do the configurable hierarchy. We want to configure it as according to what we need. And as you can see here as well, I will leave this condition as it is. And then the same thing, assign to the last user. Now, things were not much different in specifying this because I did not specified any hierarchy to work with this yet. So if I leave it like this and I activate it, it won't be working. However, let me activate this and then we will do the rest of the work. Come on. Yeah, let me activate this. Okay. Now, to support this conditional hierarchy that I've assigned into my workflow, the first thing that I need to do is I need to create position hierarchy type. Okay, so I go to human resources module and you can see in the positions I went to the position hierarchy type, and here for an example I've created one and I've also added it to a workflow. Okay, and the assignment to the workflow happens on the workflow window, not from here. At least that is how I did it. Okay, now the second step is that I will have to go into the positions. Okay, and to, for instance, I select this position to which I think I have applied it. Here, as you can see, his report to position is there, whoever he is reporting to. Like for instance, he is the accounting manager and he is reporting to treasury director and acting CFO. Okay. On the other hand, I wanted to specify my own hierarchy. So what I did is I added a relation here with the hierarchy that I've created, the expense reporting, and in that I specified he is also reporting to a position who is the HR manager. Okay. Now doing so and saving the information here, I'll have to get back to my expense management workflow form here. And on the cash advance request, I need to associate that hierarchy here to complete the whole cycle. So I'll click the associate. I say, all right, I've got some instances working right now for this cash advances request, maybe some other user. As we can also see the number here that there is an instance working right now. So first of all, I'll have to cancel that and then I can simply come here and I'm sorry, click the wrong button. I will click the associate and I'm going to associate that hierarchy here. That will end the process. And next time when you will run this workflow, you are going to see that it is working as according to what I've just told you. Thank you very much for your time. Bye bye.